we saw it the other day. There's a video like Women People Rock or something by Clairol or Overall or something.
Yeah.
It was so cool. And I think in there you talked about learning how to express yourself in another language. And he's fully fluent and bilingual and everything, but I'm still learning Spanish bit by bit. And so I thought it was very interesting because I'm also trying to learn how to express myself in another language. Do you have any tips for me and also the students that are learning Spanish about how to express yourself in another language? Because you do that really well.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just a question of practice, and you don't have to be completely correct all the time. I mean, it's what we all strive for. I want to be grammatically correct every time that I speak, but sometimes it doesn't need to happen that way. And when I speak in Spanish, I say a lot of stuff that is not correct, but it's part of the personality that I have in that language. So I think the most important thing is to try and be as comfortable as possible. Don't worry about either your accent or about how you're coming across, because in the end, if you have an accent or if you say things that maybe are incorrect or don't make a lot of sense, that only means that you speak two languages, which is a plus. So I think that you just have to be comfortable and practice. Practice a lot. Try speaking with friends. Trying to express things like maybe not like an instruction or not direction, but more like a concept. Try and talk about your feelings or try and talk about your view of certain things in life, and that is when you really are put to the test, and just practice.
Wonderful. Thank you. That's really good advice. What are some challenges and joys of making music in two languages?
Well, I think the hardest challenge for me was to find my own personality in both languages, and I tried at first when I was writing my first songs in English. I tried to kind of almost like translate what I was thinking in Spanish, or how my style was so put together in Spanish, and try to do the same thing in English. And I just realized that it's a different language, and the way that you build sentences and the way that you describe things are different, and that was one of the biggest challenges. And also trying to keep everybody happy. The people that speak Spanish or the people that speak English, they want to hear songs in their own language, and that sometimes is hard. But one of the great joys is that I feel that when you learn, I don't know if you felt this, but now that you're learning Spanish, but when you learn a different language, it's almost like you learn a different reality, or you learn a different, culturally it's so enriching, because you get to perceive the world in like more than one dimension, and that is what I found refreshing. That I can now that I've been working here and I've been writing songs in English and I've been touring in the States, I can listen and understand so many concepts or so many jokes or so many things that I couldn't quite grasp, and it tells me so much about the culture and about people that come from other countries, and yeah, the same thing when you learn Spanish. You learn a lot about the humor and like what that means, about the culture, and I like that. I like that it gives you like a bigger perception of what reality is.